Okay, we're recording. We're live.
Morning.
Okay, good morning. Okay, so let's just dive in. So I've been wanting to have this conversation with you for a long time. And this is a conversation about your weight loss, but it's actually much bigger than that. This is a conversation about how you literally changed your life when you changed your food. And
Transformation.
yes. So for those who are watching who don't know you, you are my aunt, Kate
Claim
Blassingame.
to fame.
You live in rural Georgia, and we are as close as sisters. We are best friends. You are an amazing person in the life of me and my kids. But what we're going to talk about today is this huge transformation that you thankfully made in 2019, and you've still maintained it, and you literally changed your life. And if I became a health coach just for that one reason, I'm grateful for it
Me
because
too.
what the people watching don't know is that in 2019, you made a big change in your life and you lost 70 pounds in a year without a GLP-1, without any assistance, and for better or worse, even without exercise, just
Yay.
by changing what you were putting in your mouth. And so I think if you could share your story today, it will be so powerful for so many people. And I just want to kind of toss that over to you for you to talk about where you were in 2019. I guess you were 56 years old.
Was
And
56 and it was right at the beginning of COVID, actually. And I had come to visit you in DC. And at that point in time, I think I was probably 220 pounds. I mean, I I'm not a 220-pound girl. I have no idea how I got there,
yeah,
but I had gotten there. And I mean, I was sick. Now that I look back on it, you know, during that time, I was just going through the motions of the day. I was just absolutely mindless eating, mindless living. Honestly, I was just doing my thing, which is sort of my personality is to
yeah.
just do what I want. But, that got me in a lot of trouble. And it really sneaks up on you. And of course, I say sneak, it was over a 20-year period. It was sneaking. And,
Yeah.
you turn around and you're 56. And in my mind, I'm not thinking I'm old, but my body is telling me, oh, you're old. So, when I come to the house and I'm couldn't get down on the floor with the children or
Yeah.
was just tired or just couldn't get up the stairs breathing so hard. I mean, you've got a set of stairs that come up to the top of the house and I'm like,
You
y'all
were
come
breath.
get my
Yeah, you would
luggage.
always be out of
I
breath.
can't carry this, or
Yeah.
whatever. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh God, you're getting old. But also in the back of my mind, I'm going, you're killing yourself. You're
Mhm.
overweight, whatever, but I'm covering it up with a excuse of you're getting old, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
And just really, at that time my mindset was, oh, just put that on the back burner. We'll
Right.
deal with that later. We're here to
Well,
see Caitlin and the kids or whatever.
right. I
And
mean,
just
I was worried. I
yeah,
was
I mean,
worried. I
yeah, I
remember,
can
yeah, you were always out of breath, and I kept thinking, how can I help her? But
I didn't want to get up and do anything. I
yeah,
mean, I
and you
sat
didn't
in
know.
the house. I didn't do
Right.
anything, Whenever I would come, I mean, I didn't really think about it at the time. Now I look back and I think about it. But, at the time, I would just come to the house and, you know, find a chair to sit in and I'd sit there.
But
And the
all of a
kids would come
sudden,
around and we'd do whatever. But I wasn't going on a walk with anybody. I mean, if you asked me if I wanted to do anything, I'd be like, no,
no.
I
Right.
don't want to do anything.
Right. You were able to take care of the kids and you showed up and
Yes.
you got up here and you were active enough, but it was always difficult and you were
Didn't
always
get in the pool
tired.
with them.
Yeah.
There
But
was one
something
time.
really changed in 2019. Something really changed. And you came
Oh,
up
well,
here. And I remember it was during COVID. And I was
Hmm.
so thankful you were here because I had my four young children and you came to help me manage, virtual learning with four kids. At
Right.
that time, my health coaching career had just taken off. And I basically said to you, we really can't really go to the grocery store. You're going to be
Right.
stuck eating what I eat. And
You're going to do what I tell
I
you to
was
do.
quietly
No, you weren't
coaching you
quiet about it.
without you
You're going to
knowing.
eat what I give you, and that's it.
Yes. And you did. And there
I
was a
did.
moment, and you may not remember it as well as I do, but there was a moment where about 2.5 weeks in, you woke up one morning and you said, wow, I have never slept this well. I
Hmm.
slept so well because you used to have disrupted sleep and all of your
Didn't
joints
sleep.
were hurting. And just even with 2.5 weeks of eating differently,
I had plantar fasciitis, extremely dry skin. All my joints hurt. My knees hurt. I couldn't walk 10 feet, whatever, it is surreal to even say any of that because
you don't have any of
it's
that
so
now.
not me.
Hmm.
It wasn't me in my mind to begin with, but that is what was going on. Just a
Well,
mindless free fall.
so now we painted this picture, right? Here you were
Mhm.
over 200 pounds, not sleeping well, having all sorts of other issues,
Mhm.
joint pain.
Skin
Yeah.
issues, brain fog, the whole
So
thing.
many manifestations of inflammation, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
then we begin to slowly change your eating pattern. Is there
And
one thing that's,
let me
yeah,
say real quick that I believe, the idea when I got there, eh, and you had been thinking about it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I really, I need to help Aunt Kate. She is sick and, I can't lose her. Is I think something that was going through your mind. And when I
yes,
got there, we had that distinct conversation. I'm worried about you. It was not about weight loss. It was literally just about health. Like at
yeah,
that point in time when we started, it wasn't the conversation to me was
mhm,
not, Aunt Kate, you need to lose weight so that you're not sick. It was simply, I have got to get you well. And their weight
yeah,
was not even
right,
mentioned,
right,
actually.
right.
To be honest with you, had you started with that line of talk, you need to lose weight, I would have, there would have
Shut down.
been a complete
Hmm.
block. I might not have heard anything you said, you
Right,
know, but the course of action was more, you cannot go on like this.
right. Okay, so
This
we
is
get to that
terrible. I
point. We
cannot
get
lose
to
you.
that place where you
Yeah.
can't go on like this anymore.
Yeah.
I think for most people watching, they're going to want to know, well, then what happened and what changed?
Well, I was there with you during COVID, and you and we had sent the children off to a better situation where they weren't, in the house with us 24/7, where they could run outside and this and the other.
Right,
And
right.
so it was just you and I in the house. And so I had come for the month to help with the children. And we just decided a different course of action. And once that happened, it was just you and I. During the day, I would go, in the back of the house or whatever and read because you were in, or downstairs or upstairs or wherever I was. So, and just did whatever. And you would work. And then during the evenings, we would get in these really deep conversations about what is it that you do every day. And the conversation really started with you asking me that, and I said, "Well, I'll tell you what I do every day," and on and on. And I just decided to be real and say the things that I did on a daily basis. And as I'm saying them, I'm in my mind. It was sort of like a release, like you go to your therapist or your friend or whatever, and you tell them a little bit about what you actually do on a daily basis, but you don't lay it all out for real. And I laid everything out. Well, I'll go ahead and say it right here because I think it's important. One of the things that I would do just mindlessly, I love to bake cakes. Oh, my daughter is a great baker.
Mm.
Well, she'd bake a cake, and the next day would come. I'd have a slice of cake for breakfast. Oh, I need a snack. That snack was a piece of cake. It's lunch. I'd eat whatever I'd eat for lunch, and
Mhm.
then need a piece of that cake. In the
Right.
afternoon, I need a snack. I need a piece of cake. I need dinner. I'd have a piece of cake. By the end of the day, literally an entire cake would be gone. An
Yeah.
entire cake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mindlessly. I
Right.
wasn't saying to myself, you've eaten 6, 7 pieces of cake today. I had a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Absolute mindless eating.
Right. So I do think you're hitting on something that really is a humongous part of a big change, which is becoming aware, right? I do
Mhm.
believe at one point we
Yeah.
talked about the three A's to change, right?
Yeah.
Awareness, acceptance, and action.
Mm.
And you became
Hmm.
really aware. And nothing hit you harder than going from that to staying with me for those,
Mm.
3 to 4 weeks and having such a
Nothing hit
drastic
me
change.
harder until the day you said, why are you in the refrigerator again?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know I was looking in there. I wasn't getting anything out, but I'd be sitting and I'd be doing and I'd be bored. I've decided I'm a boredom eater, and I'd be bored, so I'd go to the refrigerator and I'd open the refrigerator. I'd look, whatever, nothing. I'd shut the refrigerator. Well, I guess I must have done that like 10 times, unbeknownst to me. Like I didn't even realize I was doing it. And I hear from the other side of the house, what are you doing in the refrigerator? And I was like, what are you ask? What? I'm just looking in the refrigerator. And then you came in and you said, what is it that you were feeding?
Yes.
And when you, let's be specific, not what are you eating? What are
Hmm.
you feeding? And for
Yes.
me, on that day, at that time, that clicked for me.
That was the aha moment when I
That was,
asked you literally, what are you feeding? Because I knew you weren't hungry. It
and
was,
I,
what are you feeding?
and I said, I have no idea. What do you mean? And we got into the conversation. And at that point in time, I think I had already tried to entertain myself. I was looking at YouTube and I saw these little girls drawing these black ink line drawings, and I had gotten one of the children's notebooks and some of their crayons or whatever, and I was just following along with these ladies, because I didn't have couldn't do anything. And that had maybe gone on a week, and we're there in the house, and you said this to me. Then we immediately got into the conversation of what are you feeding, and those words at that time, at that counter, in that moment, really clicked for me. And I'm a super individual, in my mind, in my mind, I'm a super individual. Okay. I don't want anybody taking care of me. I don't want to blame anything, on that's going on with me on anything. I don't, I'm just not that person.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, when you said that, I thought, oh my God, oh my gosh, what in the world what am I doing? And
Hmm.
it clicked.
Hmm.
I'm, am, am I an anxious person? Now, maybe at that time I was anxious because, of course, it was COVID, whatever. But I thought, okay, I will not be the person that is eating my emotions. I will not do that.
Right.
And it clicked. And I decided at that point in time, I went, well, what are you going to do when you think about, and we were talking about it. And well, what are we going to do? What
Instead.
about when you want to go to the refrigerator? What if you want to go to the pantry and you want to grab some crackers and whatever? What are you going to do? And we were standing at the counter and I said, you know what I'm going to do? Every time I think about eating, I'm going to just redirect myself to the art table. I'm going to
Right.
start doing art.
Hmm.
Now, mind you, before this occurred, I was not an artist. I had never drawn or painted a thing in my entire life. Always creative, always an extrovert, always an entertainer, but never drawn or painted anything. But I
Right.
was really enjoying what I was doing. So I thought to myself, well, the next time I think about food and it's not food time, lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever, I'm going to just go over that art desk and I'm going to art it up.
That's right. this was humongous because this is when your life took a totally different direction. You took a bad habit and you replaced it with something that became not only fulfilling, but it became your passion. I mean, looking behind you right now, everyone's going to be able to
I mean, and I'm
see
an
that you
artist.
are
Look
now an
at me.
artist. I mean,
Okay.
that's the journey, right? So when
Hmm.
you changed your food,
I found myself.
you found yourself and you realized that your food was not just something that you were eating because you were hungry. It went so much deeper than that.
Away.
And for a lot of people, food is not just a meal and it's nutrition. It's actually something that they use to celebrate or commiserate or numb or any of these things. And we were able to have enough conversations to get you to recognize food is actually information. Food can be medicine. It can also be poison. And it's the dose that makes the
That was
difference.
very important for me to hear. To change the way that I thought about the food.
Mhm.
Okay. Would I sit there and drink a bottle of poison?
Right. That
Would I
whole
do
day
that?
of cake, a whole day of cake is poison
It's poison. It's
because
nothing but
it's,
who knows how many grams of sugar in
yes,
that thing. I have no
right,
idea, but it was mindless. I
right,
didn't, it was just a piece of cake,
right,
7 pieces by the end of the day. Or
right,
whatever it was, I'm
right.
just using the cake, it was just one of the times that I did something terrible. It could be a pack of croissants that I get at the grocery store, which I
Mhm.
still love to this day, and that is my go-to treat. But I don't eat 12,
Right. It's been a
in
huge
over
change.
two
So,
days.
so you substitute this constant going back to the refrigerator with something you're passionate about and something that you learned. So you started taking these classes all day long. You were in your house. And what I want you to tell us more about is like when you left here, I remember you already
I
saw
was
that you had,
nervous.
within a month, you had lost some weight. Your
Hmm.
inflammation had decreased. You kept
Hmm.
waking up and going, I cannot believe it. My arms,
My
my,
God,
my
I feel so
joints don't
good.
hurt. I slept
Hmm.
so well.
Hmm.
And you were nervous to go back home
I
to your
was,
old
I
environment.
actually was sick to my stomach.
You were scared. So I print out that I remember I gave you one of the, you
Still
know,
have it.
yes,
Hmm.
the CLC guides, right? The foods to focus on,
Yeah.
the foods to try to crowd out. And you were able to sort of take that with you to the grocery store, stock your fridge, and then explain to everybody how you sort of built your life in a way for a time to make these habits stick.
So, I'm going to have to couch that by saying that I was really lucky to be with you because I felt like I was at boot camp. I was like, oh my God. I mean, when I left, I was so scared. I was like, I'm leaving boot camp. Or what do you call it? Rehab. I'm
Rehab, oh God.
I'm leaving the food rehab, because
Oh,
ultimately food is just another addiction,
yeah, yeah,
alcohol, drugs, whatever. I mean, food
for a
is a
lot of people.
drug.
Hmm.
Okay. So, when I left, I was, because I've done this before. I mean, I've gained and lost weight a million times. I think that maybe the trick was prior to this, I was losing weight to be skinny.
Mm,
I was losing weight to look good.
yeah,
That reasoning for me did not stick.
yeah,
Okay. The reasoning behind losing weight this time, as I said when we first started, was the initial project was to get me well. We can't have this. I need you to stick
yeah.
around for me and my kids.
I
I need
totally
you to
get
stick
that.
around for your husband and our family.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hang on. Kate, can you hear me? Hang on. We're having technical difficulties. I can't hear you. Hang on.
Okay.
Ah, okay, we're back.
Okay. My mindset, so I was worried when I came home. Am I going to be able to stick to this? Okay, one of the things that we talked about when we were there, I mean, when I tell you we talked, I mean, we went 30 days or however long I was
Yeah.
there with deep, seven, dinner time would come, and from dinner time till we went to sleep,
Hmm.
I was in rehab, you know. I was screaming.
I didn't know I was
I
doing
mean,
that.
it was deep.
Okay.
By the time I was done and when I came home, I was like, "Woo,
It's
Lord have
okay. It
mercy."
worked. It worked.
Mm. But the ideas to the prior occasions of gaining and losing, and may I
Hmm.
say that when you lose and then you gain way back, it's always more, and it's always in a different place. I mean, you
Mm.
feel so defeated.
Yeah.
So when I went home, at your house, I was in a little, you know,
Safe box.
in a
Hmm.
safe, yes, thank you,
Hmm.
in a safe spot. So everything worked there. And I was worried when I came home that I would not be able to contain it.
Right.
But when I got home, I just filled my refrigerator with the things from the list. And I
Hmm.
just said to myself, I'm not eating anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to parties. I'm nothing. I set myself up for success in the fact that I was very structured. I had,
Right.
and I'm a creature of habit, 100%.
Hmm.
So I just created that habit. Now, I was lucky in the fact that at that particular time, I have to say, we couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
You couldn't do anything. You weren't
Right.
having parties and all of this baloney. You weren't getting in the car and, oh, I got to drive through the McDonald's because I need one of those little ice cream cones. Okay. None of that was going on. Mind you,
Right.
I've never eaten
Yeah.
at McDonald's again. Okay. So,
You made the
which,
change.
you
Yeah.
know,
You made
um,
the change.
I was successful because I created an environment where this happened. I literally told my husband, "You're going to have to fend for yourself."
Right.
Okay.
Well, okay. So that's important because
Mhm.
having the ability to remain consistent and to do the things that were working for you over and over. I say that with my health coaching clients often. Once we
Mhm.
find what's working and we get signs from your body that it is responding, your inflammation is decreasing, your weight is coming off, try
You're
to
frozen,
remain
just so you know. I don't know if
it's yeah. Okay.
I can hear you, but you're frozen. So I don't, okay, there you go.
Right now on my back.
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay.
Fuzzy, but back. Yeah.
Okay. So let's pick up where we were. So you were able to maintain consistency, and that is very important when you're trying to make a change. Now, COVID is over, and most people have busy lives. And so they're probably thinking to themselves, how the heck would I be able to do that? Do you have any advice for people who can't shut everything out, fend for themselves? They've got children depending on them, spouses depending on them, a busy work life.
I would absolutely think, I mean, I've thought about it several times if I had little children with me all the time, how hard it would be to do
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I honestly, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, you just have to find your way. There is no answer for that.
Right. But
Everyone,
the one thing that I take away from what you did, you were even able to say to your husband,
yeah,
um, I'm
fend for
not,
yourself.
I'm not available right now because I'm making a change. I'm really want to be dedicated to changing my health.
And may
And
I mention also that, remember, if you don't remember, but prior to that, my husband lost 100 pounds
yes,
on his own. This was on
right.
his own. He just decided in his head one day, I am diabetic. He wasn't diabetic, but I'm just saying his trick
Oh,
for him to lose
yeah.
was to literally pretend that he was diabetic, meaning he ate, like he cut out sugar.
Hmm.
He didn't cut out gluten, all that, but mainly he cut out white flour, sugar, that
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Hmm.
And over a year, my
Right.
husband lost
And
100
again,
pounds.
this is,
He did not run.
did not exercise a
He did not
ton. Yeah.
exercise.
Yeah. That's
So
where, you really want people. So let's dive into the specifics of what foods you were focused on. Because I think most people probably at this point want to know, well, what did you eat? What were you eating on a daily basis that you didn't even have to exercise to lose 70 pounds in a
I
year?
didn't have to think about it. because I went by the list and that's what I allowed myself to
Okay,
eat. Now
but
I could
give them
sit
an
here and
example
say,
of
oh,
what
I
did
can
you eat?
never,
What was your
yeah,
lunch? What was your dinner?
yeah. To begin with, when you have a list of foods and you dedicate yourself to it and you say, I'm going to do this. If you say for 1 minute, oh, I can't go without this, that, and the other. You certainly can't.
Oh, right, right. So you're talking about a mindset. You're giving that advice about like you've got to have the right mindset.
You know,
Yeah.
when you have that list of food and you dedicate yourself to that list of food, in your head, if you're going, oh, I can't give up this, blah, 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 you're exactly right. You're never going to be
Mhm.
able to do it.
Right. That's the
If
big
you,
mindset shift.
yeah,
It's a huge
huge
mindset
for
shift.
me, huge
Yes,
for me,
because
because I
a
allow
lot of people
myself,
think I could never go without a carbohydrate. I could never go
I
without
can
the
never
rice. I
not
could
have
never not
chocolate,
have the
whatever
bread.
it is. I
Right.
have to have Coca-Cola.
But you know, the truth
You're,
is, and we'll get to this, but
yeah.
you are back in a place where you've allowed yourself and you can indulge
So,
in some of
so
that sometimes. But I do
right
want to go back to describe to us exactly
at
what
the
you
very
ate.
beginning.
Yes.
So in the beginning, I was extremely structured, and I was structured for 9 to 12 months. I didn't allow myself anything. And to be honest with you, I did miss it, and it wasn't work.
Wow.
Okay.
Right.
It just wasn't. And I think
Mhm.
that it was because my boredom was fulfilled with my art. I found
Right.
something else to set my mind to. I mean, I didn't even give myself a second to be bored. I
Okay,
mean,
but let
I
me
got
ask you
up in
this
the morning.
but let me ask you a quick question. That's great. I do think that that was an enormous part of it. But you were also, this is why I keep asking you what you were eating, because you were eating the foods in a way that actually satisfies the brain
Yes,
chemicals in your head
yes.
that tell you you're full and satisfied.
So you get up in the morning, I'd have my regular coffee. I also was doing intermittent fasting, which I implemented by myself. So at 11:30, it was lunchtime.
And that was your
And
first meal of the day.
and that was my first meal of the day, breaking
Mhm.
the fast. I mean, that's just something that I do and has really worked for
Right. I
me.
didn't coach you to that, but
Yeah.
yeah, you did.
But it
Okay.
is something that my husband was doing, so I implemented it too. 11:30, I went in and I had all of the things that I needed in my refrigerator to make that
Yeah,
great
you
salad.
basically copied the fridge that I had here. You went home,
Yes.
you bought your arugula,
And
you
I'll
bought
go
your
and open the
roasted
refrigerator and I'll be like, I'm at Caitlin's. I'm here at my
Yeah,
house.
you got the
And so
arugula, the chicken, the
so
feta.
I found all of the things that I
Mhm.
really like to eat that made me feel good.
Yeah.
And I do think that the idea of, a lot of times they're talking about protein now. Okay, great. They're talking about fiber. I always had a little bit of a problem with fiber. Uh,
Mm. Okay.
like I would, so we took care of the fiber by you telling me to, just cook your vegetables or your carrots and your whatever it was,
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts, blah, blah. Cook those for like a minute or two. That solved that problem. And then the good fats, people never, even still now when I watch people, nobody ever talks about the good fats, or at least I don't see them talking about it and
Mhm,
how
mhm.
important it is to have that in your meal because
Right.
those three things together, I believe this. I feel like I'm talking like through your mouth right now. But basically, fiber, protein, and fat at every meal is what makes you satisfied at the end. I
Mhm.
never, ever, ever felt like I was missing out. It wasn't
Yeah.
like at the end of my salad, I felt like, that wasn't any good because,
Right.
buddy, can you cook? And I just mimicked, what you do here.
Yeah.
And so I never left it. I never felt like it was work. I don't know what else to say about that,
Right.
because
Okay.
prior to
So
that, any diet I was doing was like, I mean, I was suffering,
yes.
you know,
Right.
but I just
Right.
wasn't this
This
time.
isn't. It's not.
I
It's
think it
not.
was mindset, and I think it was what I was eating was delicious.
Yes.
Every salad I made was, I'm like, this is so good. And when you first started your salads, you are telling me to do the salad, you were like, you just need a little olive oil,
Yeah.
lemon, and a little salt and pepper. You don't need all that up. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
no, I don't believe that. Okay, I really need that ranch. I really need it. Okay. But I'm going to do what you say to do. Okay. And I just didn't need, it's shocking,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. I think
all
a
of
lot of
these
people think
salad
that. They're like,
dressings in
I think a
drawers with,
lot of people see it and they think, I mean, she just eats
I
salads all
can't
day.
do it.
And then I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. But it's not about that. In fact,
It was
well, talk about your
delicious.
dinners though, because it wasn't all salads all day. You would have that salad with the chicken and stuff. And then at night, you would prepare different things.
Well, I would prepare different things for my husband, but many times I had the salad because
Yeah. You just liked it.
I
And
like, and I
mhm.
always changed up like my protein, salmon,
Yeah.
chicken. Sometimes I'd have steak. I really cut back on that because I was, of the issue. And let's point out the fact
Yes.
that the reason that you started this with me is because I was sick. I was having these
Hmm.
crazy attacks. They thought it was the gallbladder. Maybe it's that. Okay, we can just take it out if we want. They were killing me.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
I was
right.
down for
And
the
have you
count.
had any of those since?
Never.
Yeah.
I've never again. Oh, I lie. I lie. Because one time I did have an attack, and it was because I went to eat lunch with a friend. I allowed myself to have some crazy patty melt,
In rural
and I
Georgia.
paid for it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
paid for it. But it was a good reminder. It
Mhm.
was a good reminder because it's so much easier to say no to those things when they make you sick,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
So, it's for a long time, it was for me a salad in the day and a salad in the night. And I would make my husband, of course, it was helpful because he was also watching. And I would do, a chicken with vegetables and, he was fine with that. So
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
helpful when your partner is also on the same course. But
Right.
if they're not, they can take care of themselves.
Very good
I'm
advice.
going to eat what I'm going to eat. And if you don't want to eat what I fend for yourself, you're an
That's
adult.
good advice.
Okay.
That's good advice.
You know,
Yes. It's very true. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves.
so
Okay,
that
so now here we are, and one of the biggest parts of this story is how drastically your life changed within 5 years. You are now, a prolific artist. I mean, just looking behind you, we see all of your gorgeous art. Your talent is shining. You go to these festivals and sell your art for quite a bit of money. You've made a successful career prior to this change, prior
I didn't
to
even
this.
want a career.
No, you didn't have one.
I had no
You
goals.
stayed at home. I mean, I remember talking to you and thinking, what is she doing all day? I mean, the days have
Nothing.
just passed. Yes, your life is more fulfilled. You have a network and a precious community of all these artists that you inspire and that y'all get together in Georgia. Your festivals are in Atlanta and people are buying
Mhm.
your art across the South. Your world has changed.
Opened up like
Yeah.
completely. There's little things, so, one of the things I say is, start with the structure. It once you get it in your head, then you can have chocolate again. You
Yeah.
can have a
Yeah.
croissant.
Right.
You can
So
allow
describe how
because
you're
I know
living
that when
now,
I eat the
right?
croissant, I'm not going to eat the whole pat.
Right, right.
I know when I have the piece of chocolate or a piece of cake, like I could take a piece of cake and cut it in half.
And have
Okay.
a little bit, right.
And there you go. Of course, right now it's the holidays. I've had too much cake, but today is a new day and Christmas is over.
Hmm.
And now I'm back on my trajectory. I just told my husband yesterday, fend for yourself for dinner. If
Right,
you don't want to eat salad, I don't know what you're going to eat. But
right. You
okay,
got to get the train back on the
you
tracks.
can eat salad with me or not.
Yeah.
The
And
fact is
that's
that I
real
know
life
that I can get
because,
back on.
right, it's never a straight line and it's not about perfection, right? It's
No,
about progress. And
I
then
can wear
when,
my.
yeah,
We were talking earlier, just about how my life is different.
yes, one more, yeah,
I mean,
one
I
more
didn't
way.
even think about it before, but I'm a very expressive person. I'm animated, I'm whatever. Clothing and this, that, and the other is just another expression of myself. My hair is just another. I usually have a hat on, I'm really expressive with that. But prior to losing the weight, I didn't express myself. It wasn't
No,
fun. It was
no, you
not
wore all
fun.
black. You wore these big black
No,
pants,
because every
black
time you went to
shirts.
go to the store, they were selling something with Winnie the Pooh or a big sunflower. Do I look like Winnie the Pooh or a sunflower? No, ma'am.
No,
Okay. No. But
right.
so I just covered myself. You know, I so there are several little things, and I've always told you this. One day when I was sitting here, well, one morning I woke up and I was stretching in my bed and whatever, and I felt good. And I don't know, I stretched down and went, oh my God, what is that? My hip bone was poking out. And I was like, oh my God, I got a bone there. I didn't know. Never missed it. I just whatever. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, my
All the,
collarbone.
yes.
Like I can see it.
Your body
I didn't
was
even see
really
those things
changing.
before. It just
Yeah.
really got rid of it.
Yeah.
I had these crazy, I had dry skin. My face was so dry. My skin was so dry. I had some eczema patches, like oddly, on my ankles, completely gone.
Wow. Well,
One day
I
I
mean,
was watching a movie. Remember, I told you this? I was watching a
mhm.
movie, and I'm like, ha ha ha. Oh, that's what he said. All of a sudden, this sounds so crazy, but I could hear what the people on TV were saying. And I thought to myself, oh, 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 that's why everybody's cracking up when they watch this movie. Because
What do you
before,
think that was? Like brain
I think it
fog,
was just
food
brain fog.
noise,
I just
food
couldn't,
noise?
like, I couldn't concentrate on anything. I
Right.
had no, my focus just, and I do have ADHD. Back in the day, it wasn't ADHD, but ultimately that's what it was. I couldn't focus on a lesson or focus on anything. And all of a sudden, here I'm
Yeah.
56, I do this, I get rid of the sugar, the gluten, the dairy, whatever, and my brain cleared. I don't,
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean,
even
that was
before
the
I was
anti-inflammatory
overweight,
part.
yeah.
Right. We talked a
Hmm.
lot about that. We
Yeah.
talked a lot about inflammation because that was one of the biggest lessons that I was sharing with you when you were
Yeah.
here, right? Every disease starts with inflammation. And so we want to crowd out those foods that cause it, the ultra processed foods, the sugars.
Yeah.
Those are
Killing
non-negotiable.
me. I
Right.
honestly don't know where I would be today. You had sent me a picture of myself before this podcast, of myself back in the day.
Yeah.
And I don't even recognize that person.
Yeah. I
I'm
know.
shocked. And I said, if we had not done this, I don't know where. I'd probably have an autoimmune disease. I, I, I could be not even here because
Yeah.
I was sick,
Yeah.
you know,
You were not well.
and
Mhm. But
so,
one thing I wanted to bring up, Kate, too, was remember you used to say to me, your doctor every year, watch your
oh, made me so
glucose.
mad.
Every year you would say, "Oh, you're not quite pre-diabetic or diabetic."
You're so let's
What would he
just like
say?
say this. He would go, okay, well, this my cholesterol was kind of high, but there's a new reading on that. But
Yeah.
anyway, that ended up being okay. But my sugar was 99. And like, so I thought that was high. And I said to him, okay, well, 90, what is it? What is it? What do you consider high? He said 100, 100. And I said, oh, oh,
Okay.
what should I do? Should I work? What? We won't worry about that. We're not going to worry about that. We've got about 10 years and then we're worried about it.
I mean, I remember being
Okay, I never went
flabbergasted.
back. I never went back because even in my head, I was like, now that's about, I'm sorry, but
Well, I mean,
that's
I
about
was so worried about you. I kept waiting for your doctor to say you're
to
very
say
overweight.
something.
You've got these issues. You need to change what you're eating and the way you're living so that you can be healthy. And it never happened.
I think there's something up with the internet.
I know we keep freezing.
Waiting for the doctor,
Okay, sorry. I
waiting
know.
for the
Kept
doctor
freezing.
to
Oh, yeah, go back to
doctor.
the doctor.
Okay. And he never did. Let's just wait till we have a problem.
So, I mean, that goes back to, right,
Yeah.
many times you have to be your own advocate. And so
100, all times.
let's answer a couple of questions that I think could be top of mind for people who watch this, which, number one is what do you think was the most important thing you changed about your food that other people could start today?
Mm. just mindful. I don't even know what to say to that because if you're starting today, I that's pretty hard because the situation to start something is different for everyone. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to look like anyone else's. I do think that one of the tricks is to find the things that you enjoy that are good.
Great.
Like I happen to like arugula salad.
Hmm.
I happen to like goat cheese. I happen to like, artichokes. I like all those things. So if
Right.
I like almonds, I like all of those things. So just
Right.
finding the
Healthy foods.
things that
Yeah.
are healthy that you really like and you love to eat them, you know, and find the way that you like to put them together. My way, your way, may be
Right.
completely off
Exactly.
course for someone
Exactly.
else.
Exactly.
But look for the things that you know are good that you really love and fill your
Hmm.
refrigerator with that.
Right. Right.
One of the
So
things
pick
was
your favorite proteins, pick your favorite fibers, pick your favorite sources
yes.
of
I
healthy
mean, if
fat.
you say, oh,
Hmm.
fish, I could never do fish. Well, that's fine, you know.
Right. Find a different
Okay.
protein. Right.
It doesn't have to be what I eat. It
One
doesn't
of the things I enjoyed us talking about recently was that it wasn't about the macronutrients. You used that in the beginning just to sort of learn how to organize your plate, and then it became very intuitive. And it really is the
right.
Mediterranean style of
I
eating,
already
right?
like now I just know. That's what I meant by like it really wasn't work. I mean, once you figure out, like you have the little list that you give, once you figure it out, there is no thought process. Just eat
Right.
these things. And
Right.
there's been times where you and I have sat at the table and we've had a big salad and I haven't even finished my salad and you're going over there and getting seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Why is this? I can't hear you. I can't hear you right now. Can't hear you.
like I was missing out.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, even if we went to a friend's, they knew, I have great friends. So, I mean, I'd go to the friend's house. They knew I was doing this and they would be like, okay, Kate's coming. She's doing this. Let's have this. Now,
Right.
before they did the same thing, very thoughtful friends I have. Kate's coming. She loves Fritos. Let's make sure we have them.
Yeah.
Kate's coming.
Right.
She loves
Yeah.
pie. Let's have that.
Right.
But
You
now
do
they
have to
know
have
I'm doing
support from your
this, and they're
social
like,
circle.
okay,
Hmm.
whatever. So maybe it rubs off on other people. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Well, the other question I had for you was when you do, let's just say, indulge in those old habits, right? If they come back, the holidays are a perfect time to be talking about this. And then we're approaching New Year, so everyone's going to be inspired and energized to maybe make a change. And when we begin down this path of making a big change in how we eat or our other lifestyle behaviors, many times the old habits will creep back up. How do you treat yourself when that happens?
okay, so it's been the holidays. Talked. I really went off course for the holidays. I've had, as you've said, my entire life has opened up. I have like a whole community. I mean, it's like you want to come over for dinner, you want to go to eat lunch, you want to come. We're going to have a party. I mean, it's parties and lunch and dinners constantly now out here in little rural Georgia. Oh my God. I mean, if I
That
see
sounds
another
fun.
pig in a blanket, I'm going to die. I'm going to
Oh,
die.
yeah.
Okay, thank
Seriously.
God I don't like them. But
Yes.
but that's the thing. We're in an area where that's the food that people eat. So there, at first it was okay, but as it went on and on through the month of December, I did not feel good. I didn't feel good. I had a
Yeah.
headache,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I never get. I just felt bloated and gross like the whole month. And if you're not careful in your mind, and I did start, well, what's the point?
That's
I've
the
done
most dangerous
all
way of
this work
thinking.
and
Right.
look at me now.
Hmm.
What's the point? I obviously can't do it. You better be careful because what you say to yourself is the truth.
Right.
You tell yourself you can't, you certainly can't. Oh, I can't do that. You're right. You're right. You can't. So, I mean, I'm older now. Wise, 61 and wise, you know.
Yeah.
So I know enough to know that it's okay to sit in that for just a second and say
Hmm.
those things because they're truths for that moment,
Right.
not forever.
Right.
And you just say to yourself, okay, enough of that.
Wait, Kate, you're
Okay, right
frozen.
now, in this
No,
minute,
now we're good. Okay.
my choice, right now in this minute, the choice that I make is I'm going to do what? I'm not going to talk about tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about next month. I'm not going to talk about yesterday. I'm just talking about this minute that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
making a good choice right now.
Right.
Now I'm going to have lunch. I'm going to make the choice to have the lunch that I know I should have.
Right.
Regardless if in 2 days I'm going to a big shindig and they're going to serve pigs in blankets
Right. Or your favorite
or
cake.
Velveeta cheese with in
Right.
a bowl mixed with some tortillas. Whatever it is they eat,
Right.
whatever
Right.
it is,
Yeah.
that could be tempting. I mean, sometimes that stuff is trashy and it's tempting, but I'm not 20. I should have never eaten it at 20, and I certainly shouldn't eat it now.
Right.
But in our brains, we think we're still 20 and we can eat Velveeta cheese with chips.
Sometimes,
Anyway,
yeah. That's right.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just, I said the things to me, oh, you're terrible for eating that. Oh, you bad thing. We say these things to us, but they don't have to defeat us. We can
Right.
say it and then we can follow up with, well, that's just a lie. You're just telling yourself a lie because you've
Yeah.
done this before. You can do it again. You know how good it makes you feel. You feel like you look great. You feel good in your body. Your brain is clear. You don't have headaches. You don't feel sick. I don't like the way that I feel.
When you're eating
Now,
all the good
before
things.
I
Yeah.
always felt like that, but I didn't know. I just thought that's the way we feel.
Yes.
Well, I know that's a lie. That's a lie. I don't
Right.
have to feel like this, and I'm not going to.
All right. So now the holidays are over. So how are you getting back on track?
So I'm filling took everything out, threw it in the garbage. I mean, I love those little salted caramels that were in my stocking. I love them. Okay. I threw the whole bag in the garbage, opened it up, emptied it out, threw it in the garbage. Was sick to my stomach the whole time because I really wanted to eat one, but I said no, and I just threw it in. And
Yeah.
when the lid closed, I was like, "Good for you."
Yeah. Out
Okay.
of sight, out of mind. That's good.
It sort of starts the whole course of now let me go look in the refrigerator and see what else I can throw away. You know?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
cleaned the refrigerator out of and I've started doing that anyway, like when we have Thanksgiving and I have all the leftovers. I send all that stuff home with everybody and whatever's left goes in the garbage. I don't keep a hold of it anymore. I don't have to. I don't have to eat leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
ate the macaroni and cheese. Now I'm done.
That's right.
So cleaning my refrigerator out, getting back to my list, talking with you again is,
Yeah, we
I
talked
told you the
about
other
you're going to
day,
sign
thank
up for the,
God
and
I'm
even you're going to
talking to
sign
you
up.
today because I
Yes.
really needed it.
Yeah, you needed it. And you're going to do the 28-day challenge that we're starting on January
Yeah, I'm
5th
so
too.
excited about it.
Yeah, to
You know,
get that
you,
support back because the truth
yeah,
is
it's
when you
helpful.
make such a big shift and you change your life so drastically and life happens and we get off a little bit, it's always good to go back to what we knew worked and have that
Yes.
support again. I have a lot of health coaching clients that come back for just a 30-minute check-in here and there. And
Just to
so,
have somebody to talk to that's
mhm,
not going to judge you for what you're doing, doesn't have anything to say about it other than, all
right.
right, kind of like a
Yeah.
cheerleader.
Yeah.
Also saying the things out loud that you have done helps set you back on course.
Right.
You recognize, you say out loud what you're actually doing. Don't fool yourself. You know, we fool ourselves a lot. Well, that's okay. Well, we fool ourselves a lot. You've got to get real and recognize I did these things. These things are harming to me. The things that harm me may not be harmful to someone else,
Right.
but there's plenty of things that I have no business doing. And I just
Right.
need to recognize those things. And I do. And now we're on the other side of Christmas. I told you I have a big shindig to go down New Year's wedding weekend. But from now till that wedding weekend, I'm going to do my best by
Yeah.
outfitting my refrigerator in my house with all of those really good things to eat. They're in my refrigerator. Remember, I'm in rural Georgia. We say refrigerator. You know, outfitting the refrigerator with the things that I know are good that I like, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and having them at the ready is so important. I find that when I look in the cabinet and I don't have those things, I'm bound to just eat whatever's in there. I
Yeah.
gotta eat something,
I mean,
you
right.
know,
That's human
and I'll
nature.
just eat
Mm-hmm.
something, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Well, that's what we always talked about. You have to have a plan. Without a plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah,
You've got to have a stocked refrigerator or a
yeah.
stocked pantry. And that's
The
why that
stock
list is
refrigerator
so
is very good.
right,
Now, one of
right,
the things, that I recognized, and I didn't even really recognize it at first, I recognized it at the end, was the fact that shop the outside of the aisles. People have always said that to
right,
me.
right.
Well, I didn't even realize that, one day I think I was going through the grocery store and I was like, I hadn't been down one aisle.
Yes, right,
All
because you
my food
shop the
is coming from the
perimeter.
outside
You
of the
shop the
aisle.
perimeter.
I don't need
Hmm.
any of this, I don't eat that
Processed
boxed food. I don't
foods.
eat that stuff,
Mm-mm. Right, the
so
ultra
it's,
processed foods.
eggs.
Hmm.
Oh, scrambled
That's right.
eggs on a salad. Who would have ever thought? But that is delicious.
Yes, we do
Uh,
that. Yes, we do
Now,
that.
you and I probably have a little bit of the same palate because we're from the same family. But
Right,
you find that the point is you find the things that you like,
right. And put
get
those
them, put
on
them in your
repeat.
refrigerator
Hmm. Hmm.
and eat them. Now, I am a sweet person. I have a sweet tooth.
Wait, Kate, let's try again. I still can't hear you.
I was wondering if one of the things that can get me in trouble is that I have a sweet tooth.
Right, right,
And, you know, now I say that very lightly now. I just like a little sweet.
right.
It doesn't have to be, a bucket of ice cream or a piece of
Mhm.
cake now. So in the afternoon, sometimes I will have a cold coffee and I just put one little pack of monk fruit in, and that allays
Sweet tooth. Yeah,
that,
that
that
craving.
sweet tooth.
That's a good
So
one.
you just
Hmm.
find the thing
Hmm.
that's still okay to have. Only, I don't drink a lot of coffee anyway. So, you know, it's a 8-ounce cup of, I don't even measure it. I just know that's what it is, because it's
Yeah,
just a cup.
yeah,
Cold coffee in the
right,
afternoon when I'm wanting a sweet. And that keeps me from, I don't have to do it as much actually now, but right now I will because it's after Christmas and I've had a lot of sweets.
right. So you still have that craving.
So I still have
Yeah,
that little bit of a craving. So like
yeah.
today when I'm like, oh, I really want something sweet, there's nothing left in here that's sweet. But sometimes what'll happen when you're having like a craving for something and you don't have it in there, you'll get yourself in trouble because you'll go in the refrigerator and you'll try to feed that
Craving. Yeah,
craving with stuff.
right,
So to just get myself past that, I'll have that cold coffee in the afternoon if I feel like I'm craving something.
right.
Sometimes I don't. And eventually it'll just leave on
Go
out.
away.
It'll
Right,
just go away,
right, right,
And I do find that with sugar and bread and all that, the more you have, the more you want
right.
because you're getting a dopamine hit. That's what
Hmm.
that is. Just like any
Yeah,
addiction. I mean, I call it addiction because it is an addiction for me, food. I mean, I have to look at it like that. Food is a drug, you
right.
know. Food is poison or it's medicine, as you
Yeah, it's the
say. And
dose
it
that
is the
matters.
truth.
Hmm.
I mean, look
Hmm.
at me. I
Hmm.
mean, food is medicine. What you put in your mouth matters.
Right. I
I
know.
could
Yeah.
literally be on all kinds of pills now because that doctor was, oh, well, we'll just wait till you're sick. I don't want to wait till I never went back
Right.
because I
I
don't want to
know.
wait till I'm
Hmm.
sick, you
Mm-mm.
know?
No. So, right. Hold on, Kate. I can't hear you again. I mean, it keeps going in and out with
I don't
the.
know if it's me
Now
or
you're
you.
back. Now you're
Okay.
back.
It's
Okay.
little things like I like to fix my hair. I love, you know, you know how I am with this hair. You know, I'm letting it go gray. I'm so excited. But I couldn't even wear my rings before. I'm very
Yes.
expressive with my clothing, usually,
Right.
I mean, it's a
Right.
form of art, really.
Right. And
So
now yeah, you can
couldn't
fit your
even put
rings.
them on. My
Hmm.
fingers were so
Yeah, your
inflamed,
inflammation is gone.
is
So,
gone.
yeah.
So I just, I don't know what else to say. For
Yeah.
me, the food issue for anyone, the weight loss was just a bonus. At the very beginning, when I lost, I went all the way down to a size 8, which was what size I was in high school.
Yes. Right.
I'm generally a 10, 12, which is what
Right.
I am now. So I sort of like settled into myself, I feel like
Hmm.
maybe I could, almost felt like I was a little gaunt, really. Okay, had I been doing this now, somebody would have looked at me and been like, "Oh, she's taking Ozempic. She's on that
Right.
Ozempic."
Hmm.
But
100%.
I wasn't.
No, you lost
All I
70
was on
pounds.
was
Right.
real food,
With
good
real food.
food. And, we talked about that when I started this and I lost her that way. I got up every morning at 8 o'clock, got out of bed, 8 o'clock. Now that might be late. That's late for you because you're like a 5 o'clock. But, for me, I could have laid in there and looked at my phone till like 10 o'clock. Don't like it. So, one of my things was get up.
Hmm.
Now I open my eyes and I'm awake. Remember, I told you I used to have to
Yeah.
get up and then be just like, oh my God, dragging
Yeah.
myself out of the bed and into the kitchen for the coffee. Had to have 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Open my eyes now. I'm awake. I don't even think about coffee. I think I have probably a quarter cup just because I kind of like the activity. But as
Hmm.
far as
Hmm.
really waking me up, I don't need that. I'd
Right.
go have the
Right.
coffee. I'd sit at that dining room table and the art was on. And I
Yes.
literally would have to be pulled away from the table to eat. I wouldn't leave the table until my stomach was growling, which is also prior to this. I never had a hunger.
Q. Right.
Yes. I just ate. Like I never wasn't ever hungry.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I'd get
that's
hungry.
important.
I'd go have the salad. The salad.
Oh, we're frozen again. Frozen again. Hmm.
Am I back?
Now you're back. Now you're back. Okay, so to bring this full circle though, I really
Yeah.
want to bring it full circle and
Yeah. Yeah.
where I think that we should land is the journey that you started now, maybe 6 years ago, um, has not only led you, the way that you changed your food, led you to a full and fulfilling and passionate life and career. And we failed to mention that you took yourself to Italy for 7 weeks last year. I mean, these are things that people dream about that you never would have imagined possible for yourself
I mean,
just because,
20,000 steps a day didn't
yeah,
even bother me. If it
right,
wasn't nighttime, I would have kept on going.
right,
And prior to that, I'd been to Italy and I was so mad at myself the entire time because I couldn't walk up the steps. And I mean, we're in the land of steps. Couldn't walk up the steps of Pitti Palace. And I really had wanted to go up and see whatever. Couldn't do it. There
right,
was at least 4 or 5 buildings where I couldn't walk up the steps. Couldn't do it. So
right.
one of my 60th birthday last year is the reason that we went. One of my things was we're going to Italy because I'm walking up those steps.
Yeah,
And I did.
yes.
And
You went all over
I'm now
Italy.
Italian. I don't know if anybody
Okay, so
knows, but
for
I'm
people
Italian.
who don't know that you do this, you've got your Instagram account. I have several friends in Louisiana who love to spend Monday mornings with you. Aunt Kate, you can
Monday
hang out with
morning
Aunt
march,
Kate on
like
Monday
I'm
mornings with
Buckskin
her
Bill.
cup of coffee, and she'll give
Oh,
you a good
my
talking
hair.
to, give you some motivation for your week. So, but leave everybody with one good quote, Kate, because you really do always have such good life advice.
Oh my
And
gosh.
if you could say, within these past 6 years, if there was really one piece of advice you would have given your old self, the self that would have never imagined this life.
Listen to yourself.
Yeah.
I
Listen
mean,
to yourself.
honestly, listen to yourself. Don't,
Mhm.
it's not about what somebody else is doing. It's not about what somebody is eating, what they're, it not, don't even listen to me. Honestly, at this point, I
Yeah.
tell you this also, when we have conversations, I'm like, it doesn't matter what I think about what you should do. It just
Right.
doesn't. Be in tune with yourself, listen to yourself, and do what you know down deep is what you should do, and be okay with that. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what
Right.
if
It's good
someone else
advice.
thinks you should be doing something else.
Right. Do what, yes.
Find what works for you and be happy with yourself and listen to yourself. Be
Listen to
yourself.
yourself.
I've always been myself, but I didn't listen to myself for quite some time and
Yeah.
needed, a little jar. You know, listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy. I know that I've said that to you before. Comparison is the thief of
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Listen to yourself.
That's
That's my
beautiful.
advice for the
All
day.
right. Okay. Well, here's to hopefully many more. Hold on. We're frozen again. Frozen again. It's frozen.
And
Okay.
I
Now
think
we're
it's actually,
unfrozen.
it might be on my end. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well,
Maybe it's
but
on the back.
let's close this with now everybody has those two great pieces of advice. Listen to
Food is
yourself.
medicine. Food is poison.
Food is medicine. Food can be poison. It's the dose that really matters.
What are you feeding?
What are you feeding? These are all great lessons from this conversation. So thank you, Kate.
I love you.
I love you
Love
too.
everyone. Love yourself.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Okay, perfect. Let me stop the recording.
Have a great day.